Here is a call to be our genuine selves. Well, in the Bible, in 1 Peter 4, verse 10, we are urged to use whatever gift we have received to serve others. This is undeniably the best way to live a life of purpose, where we create opportunities not only for us, but for others. Through inspiring conversations on Successful Day podcast, we dive into the broad spectrum of emotional intelligence with amazing guests who choose on their daily lives to make the most out of their gifts. Why? Because we were born to create something bigger than ourselves. You and I shall get out there, reminded to be our genuine selves and continue to make a positive impact on our world. Well, let's get started! Yes! I love about how you say that we need to be open to experiences.
Yeah.
That's what also help us develop this adaptability, being
Yeah.
open to it. Don't feel like, no, I don't want to try. At least try
Yeah.
to have your share of learning,
Yeah.
of lesson learned. And does it allow you also to see lesson learned as, I mean, sometimes we're afraid of failing. How do you perceive failing? Because the way you talk, I feel like you don't see failure. You see lesson learned. I'm learning. That's it.
Yeah. Oh my God, I failed so much. I went to university first year. I was a mess. I arrived in an exam. I think I went out the day before my exam. So I woke up super late. I arrived 1 hour late at my exam. Now I'm the first one talking about, punctuality to people who work with me.
Yeah.
But I was late, so I failed, obviously, my exam. And it was like, oh, you can't resit your exam. So I decided to drop university. I was ashamed at the beginning, but then I told my mom that I'm dropping university, and I cut my phone. Like, I didn't want to speak to anyone. I went through depression. So while I was on my depression, I watched a movie. Can't remember the name of this movie. It was Goa something, Train something. It was an American movie where like two Americans are in India and they're on a train and it's funny and they're traveling India. And I was like, I want to go to India. Just because I watched this movie. I can't remember which movie.
And you went to India?
And I went to India like literally 1 week after
No
watching
way.
this movie.
Okay.
I went to India, and since I cut my phone and everything, my mother didn't know I was in India. So when I went on the plane, I literally booked my ticket like 1 day before to go on the plane. So I didn't know where I was going, to be honest. I knew I was arriving in Mumbai. I arrived on the plane. Again, I'm always meeting people on the plane. So this old man, again an old man, this old man saying, where are you going? And I'm like, I'm going to India, obviously. I'm on a plane to India.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, if you don't know what to do, you can come and work for me. And I was like, okay. No. Yeah.
There in India?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was on the plane and he gave me his card. And so I was going to land in Mumbai, but his card was written Pune, which is another city next to Mumbai. And he said, like, once you're ready, come and work for me. I like you. Come and work for me.
No. What happens?
Yes.
I mean, you guys were just sitting on the plane, and then he came to you and suggested
we were talking while we were on the plane. Actually, when you go to
you had a conversation.
Yeah, we had a conversation.
Yes.
And when you go to a destination, you always like the food from the destination. So it was like Indian food. So he would explain me how to eat chapati on the plane and blah, blah, blah. So I landed in Mumbai, stayed a few days, and I remember that he offered me a job. So I went there, and I had my first job as an assistant admin for him in India, and turned out it was a non-profit. Because I have a non-profit today. Yeah. So it was a non-profit. So I was working for a non-profit called the City of Child. So this is where also I touch really for the first time this world of working in nonprofit. There is also a lot of vice because back in the day, you know, like India, there's a lot of child that are sick, they have no hands, they have like no feet, and they're like begging. People say like in Africa we're poor. No, we are not poor, trust me. In India, it's like multiplied by 100 in front of your face and you feel like, oh my God, there's too much poverty. And so all of this happened in like the space of 2 months. And finally, I decided to call my mom because I think I needed money. I needed money because I wanted to like, I didn't earn enough money. It was like just enough to live. But I needed to like take my flight back because I then had no money. So I had to like save, and I called my mom, and she's like, but where have you been? We've been looking for you. I was ready to call the police. And I was like, I'm okay, but I need money. And she was like, I'm not sending you money. Okay. Like you're behaving like whatever, like you drop university, I'm not sending you money. You wanted to do your life like a big girl? Do your life like a big girl. So I was like, my God, you know that I thought on that day of stealing?
No.
Yes, because I had no money.
And what would you steal?
Yes, well, I didn't know. I was like thinking who I'm going to steal. That's why I say I've been through a lot of shit. I was thinking who I'm going to steal.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought of stealing from this American girl. And then she was so sweet that I was like, no, I'm not going to steal. I wanted to like be a brouteur.
Oh.
No, yes. Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah, you know when you have no money, you are very vulnerable to like evil stuff. And if you're far from God, trust me, all this evil stuff, they come to you. You know, the person who say, oh, you can make money by selling your body. You go. You can make money by, you know, going on the internet and scamming people. You go. I was in India. It was open room for all of that, you know. I really saw all of that. And honestly, I'm telling you, I was ready to steal that woman. But she was just so sweet. It's like, why are you sweet? I can't steal you.
Be mean.
So I was like, I'm going to, you know, calm down. I had this amazing job with those amazing people. And yes, there were a lot of foreigners. And through my experience, there was one British guy who told me about this course called Adventure Tourism Management in Birmingham. And turns out that I was living in Birmingham back in the day. So I was like, oh, I want to do this course because this is what I am, you know. I really want to travel, but I want to travel to help people, but I also love sports because I like, you know, for instance, water sport, I like hiking, I like cycling. So this is what I want to do. So this guy like really introduced me to study he was doing, and I was like, oh, do you think I can like still apply? And he was like, yeah, go for it. So he helped me to apply while we were in India, and I got accepted.
Whoa.
So, and funny enough, when I left my job, this guy gave me a big check. So I could like fly, and he was like, oh, and I'm paying for your flight ticket back. While, you know, a few months before, I wanted to steal someone.
No way.
Yes.
Wow.
I wanted to steal.
This is amazing.
It. You know, you have to be true to yourself, that things that you have tried to do, you know, things that you have almost done, you know.
Yeah.
So I've been also scammed myself. So I know when I see a scammer now, like, oh, I know when it's a brutal around me, you know.
No, I really love how things turned out to be.
Yeah.
And the fact that you are so true, so real about what happened during the situation, how vulnerable you were, and you were ready, even if you have values and education, you were ready to do something that go against. But you still found the strength to remain on your way, because the girl could have been nice, but you could have still you could have still stolen her money.
She was too sweet, you know. You know, it was really like this girl going to church every day, being positive all the time. And when you have people like that, you can't do bad to them.
And I love how you say that when you're close to God, I mean, when you're not far to God, you can have the orientation, the right orientation, and actually being able to keep yourself from doing something bad helps you meet, I mean, girl, this opportunity. Like, what were the chances to go in India and meet someone you have a conversation, then you had a job, then you have a conversation that makes you follow the path that you are following today. You never told me this story, and I have like goosebumps.
Traveling is a lot. But India was a great experience because India is very spiritual. As you can see, a lot of people love yoga, especially white people. They love yoga now. Yoga is big in India, and Indian people are very spiritual. They believe in their gods. And trust me, I want to say to anyone who wants to travel today, you cannot die without visiting India. Because when you land to that place, and it's the same feeling I had in Korogo, you feel something in your body.
Guys,
you feel a strength.
She's
you
telling
feel
us
like something very spiritual. And it's the same thing I haven't felt like for a long time until when I went to Korogo last time, I felt it in my body. So there's something spiritual going on in that place. And you feel it. You feel also your senses are different. In India, there was a lot of crying for me. But it's not like bad crying. It was very spiritual.
Like connection.
Connection. Crying. Oh my God, I have to tell you this story.
Tell me.
So at some point, when I finished to work, then I started to travel a little bit in India. So I am going to this town called Hampi, which is very also spiritual. And Hampi is like next to a island, which is a bit like on a lake, a bit like the lagoon, but there is an island on it, but it's very like wide. India is a big country. So I wanted to visit this temple, supposed to be very touristy, but there's like literally no one. And I'm going with few friends from my hostel, and we missed the last boat. There was like a pirogue to go back to the mainland. We missed it. But trust me, we were alone on this island. So we had to go back to the temple, right? We are like three. Going back to the temple, and there is this, I don't know I can't remember how you call them. It's not the monk, but there are other things. They were just like a little wrap. A little wrap, and they're like almost naked, like a bit like Jesus. They're like just a little wrap, and they're like, no, Jesus wasn't naked.
On the cross.
Yeah, on the cross. So, and then he was like, so you can sleep in the temple. I was like, okay. But like these temples, there's like thousands of monkeys around, and I'm so scared of monkeys. And trust me, the monkeys, they are not scared of women. Monkeys, if you're a woman, monkeys, you can touch them, they will like bite you if you're a woman. But if a man come, try with a monkey. If your man come and does this, the monkey will run. If it's a woman, he will be like, my mother had monkeys, so that's why I don't like monkeys. Anyway, so he's like, you're going to sleep here and you're going to eat with us and blah, blah, blah. But he was the only one with all those monkeys. So he's like, and we're going to meditate. Oh my God. We meditated from 6 p.m. to 4 a.m. the next day, like literally praying in Hindu. Like I didn't understand anything. We were just like saying things after him. I don't know, maybe he was like saying stuff to us, but nothing happened to me to this day, thank God. But we meditated, like I didn't even close my eyes.
And you enjoyed the experience.
I enjoyed the experience. When we finished at 4 a.m., he literally said in English, your boat is coming soon. And I'm like, what the hell? I looked at my friend, I was like, this is crazy. And I was crying, It's like we got like purified on that day. It's like we had to miss this boat to like just be with him.
Yeah.
And this is the spiritual stuff that happened to me in India, you know. What are the odds you find yourself stuck on an island in the temple like in a movie?
Definitely.
And you're like praying in Hindu.
Definitely. Missing your boats like in the movie.
Yeah. And you're praying in Hindu.
Yeah.
Like what? You know, and this was amazing. I just know that I cried after because it was like, and this is what people love yoga, because yoga is about meditation. And this is what we were doing. It's now that I'm understanding that we were just like yogaing, like literally working on our breath, how to breathe, how to like be comfortable,
how to connect with yourself and follow your voice.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I love to hear all this experience that you're sharing because it also help understand how it shaped who you are. You are someone very tolerant. What I love about B is that we'll be having conversation and we will not be criticizing people, or you will not hear her say mean things about people, and that's I love about you. And it shows how tolerant you are. And you also mentioned at some point that you have become humble.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've known you as someone who is accepting others and really trying to see the good also in others. This I really appreciate. And so that now my question is my signature question here on the podcast. I want to know, like, when you wake up day in, day out, how do you commit to be your best version, to be the B that you dream to be? I mean, I don't even want to say you dream to be. It's more like you are, Yes.
It's very easy because when I wake up, usually I actually pray in my shower, because I do believe that praying in my shower helps also free some burden. And usually in my prayer always the same. I never change my prayer.
Okay.
I always have this 21-day challenge where I would always pray for the same thing, because then it means that I'm really committed. So when I change months, there is a new prayer coming, but there is always those words that I'm also an amazing person, I'm positive, and I'm worth it. So I always take the time for that. And if I wake up and then like suddenly I'm late to somewhere, maybe I would do it in the Yango, but more like privately. So this is always what I try to do, because I know like today might be a very hard like challenge for me. I also know my temper. So I always try that before I leave home, I had this prayer. And if I feel like I didn't have this prayer and I didn't have my coffee,
yes, your coffee is a thing.
I'm capable of being like, girl, I'm coming back in a bit. I'm going for a coffee. And if I'm going for a coffee alone, it's mean like I'm going to pray with my coffee as well.
Okay.
Because it can happen that you just wake up and you have things to do, that you're being busy. Then you realize that your younger is not coming on time and things like that. Well, you know what is happening. Like from the moment when you like, you wake up. But I would say like the days where I'm most like committed, I think it's when I'm also going to sport, to the gym, because then like I have this little path that I have to do. So I know like it's just like praying is everything. If you commit for something, especially for like 21 days, especially something that you really want, you are bringing like all the positivity around you. And this is like, I wish this for everyone always. And every month, this is what I'm doing. I'm not saying like some things won't happen, but when even those things happen, I don't say it's negative. I'm taking it as a challenge all the time. There's a lot of things, like something happened to me. It's always also with the Yongo. I don't know why they always come to my mind, those Yongo. Like, the Yongo literally, like, took another way yesterday, like a bit today. And he started to scream at me, like, why he didn't watch, like, the street? I'm like, you're the one with the GPS. And he was so mad. And he was like, dude, calm down. Why are you screaming? What is it? And he was like, but I'm calm. And I was like, see? You just have to make the round and we go again, like, and I'm the one paying. But like, funny enough, I was like, why, like, it was the end of my day, why does he have to scream in my ear, like, again? Like, and then I asked him, you didn't have a good day? And he said, yes, why? And I'm like, no, because like, you're like this, like today. And he was like, no, I had a good day. And then we started to talk, But just things like that. I always feel like on my day, when I start to have a temper with someone, I'm just trying, even with the girls, they know I have my temper. When I say the girls, it's like the girls who work with me. I only have girls working with me. And, sometimes they see me very nervous because I would be stressed because they are not doing something very fast. I'm very transparent about this. And I'm like, obviously, I would love someone to be polite with me. But when I've been saying the thing for like all day, I might say after girl, it wasn't against you, you know. I'm just sorry. Don't take it like personally. It wasn't really against you, you know. Because I don't want like the person to feel like, yes, I'm hard on them. I know they feel this already, but I don't want the person to take this home and feel like they hate me because I didn't agree with something they did. Yeah.